All right, so it rained last night, and I was really looking forward to skating these 80s again, but going to end up here at the Central Park. So this is where the farmers market is in Durham. It's a really great spot. The problem is, if you can kind of see on the ground over here, there was like a one of those color runs where people run around the city and they throw like colored cornstarch or whatever at them. So the entire ground is like pink and wet, and it's not going to be fun. So I'm still on the rollerblade solo with the fusion frames. These were pretty fun yesterday. So I took them to downtown Raleigh and explored the city with the 80s. These are the 80mm compass wheels that I'm testing. They held up great. I was a little worried because I haven't skated 80s in a long time that the adjustment was going to be very, I didn't know what to expect. But I tell you what, 80mm is a really great size for free skating. And then there's a reason why they come 80mm for a lot of skates. It's a really good mix of coast and acceleration. And it's not so small that the 72 is like a 72, where you have to skate really hard and you don't really get much out of it. And then there's 100, 110 where, it takes a while to get up to speed. Add to that, you got to skate pretty hard to get to speed. This is like the perfect balance for me. So really excited about learning more about how to skate 80s. I'm going to try some flatland tricks here. Try to get my slides back. Try to get, gazelles and things like that. This isn't rockered. I wore them yesterday, and then I did a natural rocker, a natural rotation to try to get a natural rocker in. What that means is, traditionally, if you want the longest wear out of your skates, you take the first wheel and you rotate it with the third wheel, second wheel and you rotate it with the fourth wheel, and you turn them every time. So the wear comes like a more progressive wear. A natural rocker would be if you just take the wheels and just rotate them. So I had this as my one wheel. I rotated it this morning and just flipped it around. So eventually this wheel will wear differently than the two middle wheels, which will wear differently than the last wheel. It's kind of what the Wizard frames emulate out of the box. I'm trying to get that with 80mm wheels without having a rocker. So I don't think I'm going to get much wear today, but hopefully that outside layer is worn off a little bit so that I can get some good slides. One more thing. So I swapped out the blank liners in these skates with the MyFit Fat Boys. I had some really weird issues yesterday with the heel raise in the boots. Just felt like I was leaning forward too much. I couldn't figure out how to fix it. This is a flat-soled boot. It has an internal shock absorber, but something was making me lean forward, and it wasn't very comfortable. So I took out the blank liner, and guess what I saw? Check this thing out. So this blank liner has a built-in heel raise, built-in shock absorber in the back. That's probably what's causing my issue. I don't like that. So the liners were fine. I think they would be fine if you didn't have a shock absorber in there. But this compensates just as much as the internal shock absorber, which means that I feel like I'm falling forward, just like the rollerblade new jack. Again, it makes sense. Rollerblade, that's what they think your lean should be. And it probably works really well for most people. But for me, I like to be a little bit more laid back, a little bit more on my rear wheels. And it's just not going to work. So MyFit Fat Boys for today, and we'll see how they feel. Well, first of all, these liners feel so much better. Oh, I just feel like I'm skating now. That forward lean was just too much. And I totally think, maybe there's some science to it. Maybe it's better for me if I had that forward lean.
but that's not what I'm used to. You know, I review a lot of skates, and they mostly feel the same. Those were very different. And, you know, maybe, again, if it was your first pair of skates, maybe that was a good thing. But for me, you know, I don't want to relearn how to skate just so that I can have, you know, one skate. I'm going to keep swapping them around until I find the perfect skate for me. And for me, swapping in a MyFit Fat Boy liner has made a good improvement. 80s are so fun. Like, I feel like I get up to speed really quickly. I feel like I have the same height as a hockey skate. That's, you know, that's my background. So it feels like, you know, I skate hard and I get speed out of it. I get the coast that I usually get on ice, and I get the maneuverability, you know, that I would get with a hockey blade. I do slip out a little bit. You know, this ground isn't, you know, I mean, you can see there's tire marks and stuff and my skate marks all over the place where there was dust and the pollen is coming in, and then, you know, the color dust stuff. But for the most part, I feel like I'm getting the edges that I need. And yeah, they feel great. Gazelle and such, you know, I'm not good at those. I do need a little bit more of a rocker. I think if I had a slightly shorter wheelbase, it would be much easier. These are 255, and they are fine. I do like the wheelbase. I feel like the wheels are as long as they should be, and they stick out in front as much as they should. But I wouldn't mind a slight rocker, you know, maybe like a 1 mil rocker or so, just enough to get 3 wheels instead of all 4. That would make the wheelbase a little shorter, and it would make it easier for me to do turns and stuff. All right, here comes some slides. These wheels are a little grippy. So usually with slides, I usually do them after a couple sessions. You know, most wheels have like an outer layer, which is like the sealant, I guess. I don't really know what the purpose is, but that outer layer is typically pretty sticky. They actually sell speed wheels that are in a rock tumbler for a while. So after they create the wheel with the outer layer, they put it in a rock tumbler that will, you know, slowly, kind of like sandpaper, take off that outer layer, so that you have fresh wheels when you're doing, you know, downhill and stuff like that, so that you can slide without having to worry about sticking. Because obviously, if you're, you know, skating in the double digits downhill, you want to make sure that you have full control of your wheels. And yeah, I don't have control right now. These things are sticking a lot. I did also just rotate the wheels. So the inside edge of my right foot is fresh. You know, I haven't skated it much. I'm probably going to need a couple rotations in order to get to a point where I can slide pretty good. But I got a few off. I'm going to keep trying, but it's a little stickier than I was expecting. All right, that one felt good. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting that top layer off by doing all the slides. So, you know, the more slides that I can do, the easier it's going to slide. But yeah, it's going to be a while until these wheels feel solid. If it weren't so wet out, you know, I would just skate like a mile and kind of drag my foot a bit. But it's just yucky out there, and I don't want to skate in the rain. I'm going to try some parallel slides. I don't have high expectations, but my left foot, which is my trailing foot on a parallel slide, has been rotated, so the wear should be on the outside edge. So I should be able to slide it but I guess we'll find out. It's actually much better than I thought it would be. Yeah, it feels like it's sliding a little bit. I don't know that I have the confidence yet, but I'm going to keep at it and see if I can get a few nice controlled slides. I was watching actually a rollerblade on the Rollerblade YouTube channel, a video with, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about doing slides, and one of the things that he emphasized that, you know, I've seen Lino's video, I've seen Sean's video from ShopTask. One of the things that the rollerblade guy emphasized was that you should really, to learn slides, you should start with your inside foot first, which is the trailing foot, which is the one that's going to be on your outside edge. And really put an emphasis on that. You know, the front foot isn't going to be a problem. You know, I can do magic slides, and that's not a problem. The problem is getting that inside edge, that inside foot to slide on the outside edge. So I tried a few with just doing a quick turn, but with the left foot, my inside foot, leading, and I got it to slide. So if I can keep that mindset and keep pushing for that left foot to slide before the other foot, I think I'm going to be in pretty good shape. Yeah, that's feeling great. Really great. I don't know what I could do to improve that aside from get more speed. You know, this pavement is amazing. It's super slick and smooth. So whatever I put into it, I get out of it. I would love to slide longer, but I don't know that that's something that I can control without more speed. Yeah, it feels good. Feels really good. Especially on 80s. I don't know what it is, but it feels really good on 80s. Maybe it's that longer wheelbase and the more wheels. I don't know that I've ever had my, mostly doing slides on Wizards. I don't know that I ever had Wizards feeling that solid. Maybe because it was so long. I don't know. I don't have a theory on it yet, but these feel great. 4x80. I mean, there's a reason why all fitness skates come 4x80, 4x84. This is a great setup. In case you were interested, Compass wheels. These 80s are going into production tomorrow, and I'm going to start taking orders on Friday. I'm only going to get in a few hundred, just like all the other wheels. I don't want to over order because I don't know how many people want them, but you will be able to order them on Friday. They're 80. They're a round profile 80, which is not super common. There's a big hub, so it'll be nice and hard, but it's a soft 85 urethane, which clearly still slides just fine. These feels like I'm skating on pillows. They're great, so highly recommend it if you're in the market for 80s. If not, get yourself some of those ground control frames, get yourself some K2 R80s, and put them on your stiffest UFS boot and just skate. You know, I really think that 80 is a really great size for a wheel for a transition from aggressive skating to big wheeling. I think that's the way to go. You got to try it. Anyway, see you guys next week.